and wreck diving, and tonight he's got a whole bunch of stuff on local wreck dives, or no, the Channel Islands. So it's stuff that we could probably go see, unless it's very deep. So everybody, Patrick Smith.
I have to say, first of all, thank you for having me. But a lot of people go, Channel Islands, oh yeah, big lobster, halibut, white sea bass, blah, blah, blah. But there's a tremendous amount of history up there too. And most history, most shipwrecks, if you will, you dive on it, you look at it, it's a bunch of stuff on the bottom, and you go, oh cool, it's a bunch of stuff on the bottom. Until you know the background on it, it really is just a bunch of stuff on the bottom. But the background on some of these ships is just amazing. And I've got about 10 pounds of information that I got to fit into about an 8.5 pound time slot. So we're going to get going.
We have a lot of wrecks. We haven't found probably 80% of the wrecks that are documented up there. And the causes are pretty simple. There's rocks, reefs, currents, extreme weather, and lots of times not much visibility. Early on, it's navigation was kind of a problem. You can see this is one of the early navigation maps, circa 1847. Everybody recognizes Catalina, of course. The isthmus is where now? And you'll notice how San Nicolas and Santa Barbara Island have kind of traded places and moved close to each other. Guiding a wind ship where your only propulsion is the wind with this kind of navigation chart was a little bit dicey. However, the first loss we're going to talk about, and it's the earliest discovered shipwreck in the Channel Islands, the Winfield Scott. She was a side wheel steamer, and she was lost in 1853. She was on the Pacific Coast route in support of the California Gold Rush. She's right there in Middle Island at Anacapa. And you're looking in at the cove where she ended up. Just a couple of facts for background. She was carrying about $750,000 in gold to Panama when she was lost. It didn't. So remains the Winfield Scott. She was a 225-foot long East Coast built vessel, of course. And today there's still a fair amount of material left from her wrecking. On the right you can see one of the big paddle wheel shafts with the elliptical down in front. Some of the fastenings for the oak hull, the copper drip pin and some of the oak material. Engine pieces are scattered all across there, and in a couple areas you can actually see where one of the paddle wheels lay down on the bottom and is now encrusted into the bottom. The biggest piece there that divers will see will be the paddle wheel shaft and hubs, and they're pretty cool. It's always good for Garibaldi pictures because they seem to love that for some reason. The smaller pieces of the wreck, spikes, nails, and in that right-hand image you can see a bullet there just slightly off to the left. 1853, you couldn't really go in and buy bullets. You bought a mold and you melted lead and you made your bullets, and most of the time you were packing gunpowder down a barrel. It was kind of before cartridges, or just getting to where cartridges were around. And again, some of the copper sheathing on a piece of the oak hull on the left side. Finally, in the 1920s, she was cut down and being used as a fishing barge, and she got in the way of one of the coastal passenger liners and got T-boned off Santa Barbara, and she was dragged out to Santa Rosa Island and put ashore on Skunk Point and basically blown apart. The door blew. This is my girlfriend I'm looking for now. Have the written reports. She was drifting in the fog, was driven up onto B Rock on the outside of Santa Rosa Island,